Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Anime Watch Club, a bi-weekly group discussion and review. We're the hosts of the What You Say Anime podcast. Nominate and vote on shows either we haven't seen or shows that hopefully lead to a great discussion. Today's episode, the Umapoys of the What You Say Anime podcast, will be reviewing the Umamusume movie, Beginning of a New Era. Let's toss it over to Pat to get this ball rolling.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to all stable enjoyers and glue factory enthusiasts. We are here back with Umamusume Pretty Derby, Beginning of a New Era. It's a movie that aired in 2024, done by Studio Cygames Pictures, a genre of sports and anthropomorphic and racing themes. That's quite a way to put it. I guess it's true. And yeah, why don't we do our first impressions like we always do? This is a sequel movie to a 2 seasons of the show, I think,
It's a
is like,
standalone movie.
is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess the beginning of a new era. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Standalone movie references some characters, but we'll try and keep it spoiler free of for our first impressions here. So, Miles, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so all things considered, I was relatively excited to watch this as far as like Umamusume properties go. I thought that it might have a little bit more edge to it than the other things we had seen based on like the preview art, where we see Jungle Parade or whatever her name is, Pocket, and Tachyon kind of looking sinister. Unfortunately, we didn't really get that. I did not like this movie. It looked really good. They clearly went all out for it, which was nice. There were a lot of pretty parts to look at, but overall, I think this is not good. I think the story is like pretty actively bad and uninteresting. I wouldn't recommend this, frankly, to anyone. I don't even think Umamusume fans like. This is the 4th Umamusume thing that I have watched. So the first 2 seasons and then Cinderella Grey, and I would recommend all 3 of those things over this. So damn. I don't know why this exists. It doesn't do anything new or interesting, and I found it pretty disappointing. So we're getting off on a bad hoof, but let's quick to someone who might be more positive. I don't know. Go ahead.
Let's dangle a carrot or something. I don't know. Jolene, why don't you go next?
Actually probably closer to Miles for this movie than others. I think that really all this movie offered to me was like a ton of Sakuga. Like they put all their mobile game money and gacha sales into this. I mean, not all of it, obviously, a very small fraction of it, really, but enough that yeah. So I think if you're somebody who just wants to really appreciate like great animation, then I would recommend this. But if you're looking for like a solid story and you're not a hardcore Uma fan, I mean, I think that there's like literally 100 meters came out this year. So yeah, I think that there's better offerings in terms of like sports stories, racing stories, etc. But the animation of this is a spectacle to behold for sure.
Alrighty. Pete, what about you?
Yeah, I guess I'm playing contrarian because I thought this movie kicked ass, especially with like how Umamusume structures its stories, because they're all based off the real life events of these horses. And while Jungle Pocket is sort of the focus of the movie, I really do think that this is Agnes Tachyon's story, because the horse in real life only had 4 races and won all 4. So to me, it's more of a story of like Agnes's like not being able to compete more than Jungle Pocket sort of being like the next like ace of her distance that she runs. So first impressions coming into it, I knew that this was going to be like incredible Sakuga. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought the production value is, I mean, we'll mention probably 100 times in this. Like the sound design and the direction in this was like next level shit. Like this was insane. To a point, I do agree that this is more, I think, focused on Cygames flexing than actually fleshing out like a full and complete story. And sort of like how we did with Surizuri Children last week, where sometimes we have shows that are more highlight focused than like a complete story. This to me felt like a Sports Center, you know, instead of watching all the shows, we just get the quick 3-minute like highlights of everything. And that's sort of what this felt like. So while it was a different structure than most Umamusumes, where we get time to flesh out the characters and really dive into their story, I think just knowing that Agnes Tachyon was 4-0 in her career, and then to set up her story in a movie, to me makes sense, like story structurally. and just everything that we got in it was what I expected from Umamusume. So, unlike Miles, I would recommend this to every Umamusume fan. But I don't think this would be like a start, because since this is a standalone movie, this wouldn't be like my starting point for Umamusume. I actually think this would be like a really bad part to join in the show, because the other shows look worse in terms of like animation and budget. But yeah, I would still recommend this to like Umamusume fans. And then if you get involved into the franchise, eventually check this out. It's still kind of crazy that this movie has been out for a year and a half and we still can't stream it legally. So I would still say I would recommend it. I think this is great. It was a great addition to the franchise. And yeah, 2 thumbs up for me.
All right. Yeah, Pete, you're gonna get your wish. You are gonna be the I guess the odd one out here, the contrarian, because I would not recommend this movie even to Umamusume people. I think similar to what Miles said earlier, I feel like this doesn't change or add anything to the lore or to Umamusume. I would have preferred to have watched the full shows of the previous two that we had watched than watch this movie. I was very frustrated by it. I think the things that they kind of dangle in front of us at the start of the movie as well are not what the movie focuses on, and I found that very frustrating and insulting almost, because I wanted that stuff to be what was focused on rather than where we ended up. We'll probably talk about that specifically more later, but yeah, it was very pretty. I will give it that. The production value was clearly a focus of this movie, but I can't recommend this to anybody. Honestly, I really did not enjoy my time with this movie. I found myself being very frustrated with it. And yeah, maybe that's just Uma fatigue or sports movie fatigue, but I guess we'll find out. So yeah, with spoilers going forward for the movie, it's about like an hour and a half, hour and 40-minute movie. So yeah, you've been warned. But yeah, let's get right into it. What was our first talking point, Miles? I'm gonna put you on the spot as usual. What did you want to start with?
Yeah, well, we can start with something that Pete sort of alluded to, because I actually think not only like in our disagreement of if this was good or not, I think we might even disagree here. But like Pete, you had asked, should this have been a series, or do you prefer this to have been a movie? What is your initial thought there?
Well, I think the beauty of what Umamusume does is it gives us time to flesh out characters. Like the cast is humongous. So when you have such a large cast, I think it's better for these types of shows to be fleshed out in either a 1 or 2 core or longer, depending on what it is. But I think my biggest gripe with it was that some of these characters I think are fantastic, but we didn't get enough time for them to like make me like really enjoy them. Like I like Agnes Tachyon in this movie, but I also like her because I play the game and stuff like that. And so I have more idea of like who some of these characters are. But for people like you guys, where it's like you don't play the game and we are only affected by like what we watch on Watch Club, like it doesn't have like the same effect. And so I think having a series where we can flush out these characters more would make this group and this cast better. So I, as much as I enjoyed the movie, I do think that this would have been better as a series.
So my take on this is basically I think this should have been maybe like 2 episodes,
Damn.
like in a series, because like Jungle Pocket story I find to be very uninteresting.
Agreed.
And Agnes Tachyon story I find to be very uninteresting. Unfortunately, she's a very cool character and I liked her, but we see her run every single one of her races in the first 30 minutes of this movie, and then she basically does nothing for the rest of the movie. And she just sort of sits on the sideline, and I found that frustrating. Like, the issue I think comes into the fact is, how would you, because this is the only story they're going to tell with these characters, right? They refuse to break reality on this, right? They will never ever do that, at least from what we have seen. And this is what these horses did. That's what you got. How do you make it longer with the constraints Cygames puts on themselves? That is sort of my concern.
Oh, I can answer that question easily, because we see it with Cinderella Grey, that we have the first core of Cinderella, or the first season of Cinderella Grey. We essentially we are finished with Domino Cross. So like that storyline is done, but the story still continues. So it's like, it's not like Jungle Pocket is out of rivals. It's not like, or even if you started before, we could have seen Agnes's sort of come up of how she got to where she is now, like how she became a premier horse. But,
She
yeah,
only ran 4 races ever, though.
yeah, but
And we
she's
saw
four.
all 4 of them.
We saw 3 of them.
Oh, okay, my bad. It's,
But
and we also, I believe, we saw Jungle Pocket's end of her career. I think it's it. I think that's the end.
I don't know Jungle Pockets as much as the others, but I think you can just span it with the cast. Like I guess you don't necessarily need to have the same character be the.
It could be like
focal point.
Degrassi.
Okay,
Be
yeah.
like
Yeah,
Degrassi.
there you go. I guess my thoughts
Whatever
on
it
this,
takes.
whatever it takes. I guess my thoughts on this would be,
You know I'm gonna make it through.
man, what a show!
Banger. That's
Shout
my
out Drake,
comfort
right,
show.
guys? Shout out Drake.
No.
No, I guess this kind of deviates from the topic a little bit, but I think it expresses my frustration with this series as a whole. Like the story that was told with Tachyon and Jungle Pocket. Thank you. Gosh, it's a very fun name. I'll give them that. Whoever named that horse 30 years ago or whatever, good on them. These stories feel so samey in nature and in their grind. And like, for example, this movie, I kept waiting for it to break from the man, I really want to beat my rival. I'm going to work really hard towards it. I'm going to do a training montage. I want to beat them. I'm going to inspire other horses to do what I'm doing. I want to beat them. And then we race. And then it's like, I wanted it to break from that cycle. And it didn't. That's all it was. And I feel like that's exactly what happened in the first 2 iterations of Umamusume that we have watched on our club. And it didn't, if anything, it simplified it. It was less deep, it was less nuanced than any of the characters in those original seasons that we watched. And that frustrated me. I thought, and I guess again, they're following like what Miles said, the constraints that Cygames puts on themselves limits what they're able to do with it. So it's not inherently their fault, but that was such a boring story. That was just like, like I wanted to beat this person. They retired, and then I had to find something else to race for, and there you go. That's they found something else to race for, and then they did, and then they won, and they kept winning, and then they're done now because again, it is, I believe, their last race. So like
they actually had a couple more in a year 4 season. I just looked up the horses Wikipedia, but they race like 2 more times and don't do well, and then it's over.
And so
then they have a child named Jungle Rocket.
That's even cooler.
It's like Boruto.
It's a pocket rocket. There you go. That's sick. Okay, euphemism there. But anyways, yeah, that's my so that's where I was so frustrated throughout the movie because I was waiting for it to do so, especially just because of the way that it's framed in the first like 20 minutes or so. Tachyon's framed to be kind of like neurotic or like kind of psycho about it, right? A little too into it or a little too analytical, or maybe even, is it kinesthetic, like able to see the future? What's the correct word there? I'm blanking on it.
Future
But
sight. How about that?
sure, is able to use future sight like a Pokemon, but then they don't really address or use that as like a plot point or something to go forward with that I thought would have been more interesting or would have definitely changed the story, right? So yeah, that was, I just found myself so frustrated by it, and like to the point of being like feeling insulted by it because I was like, damn it, I wanted them to do something with these characters.
Yeah, I don't know. Julian, do you have any thoughts here?
Yeah, I more or less agree with what you guys said. Honestly, I was more pulled into this movie seeing, like, I remember whenever this movie was kind of getting hyped up, it was a lot of opera hype. And she just aura farmed the whole movie, more or less.
She's in the other movie. That's like that's Road to the Top, if I'm not
or whatever.
mistaken.
Okay.
I was gonna say I would have
that's my
liked
fault
something
then.
about opera because I read her like history, and she at this point was on her like year 6 season or something, and was still crushing people, which is impressive for a horse.
Very.
True.
Yeah.
Horse girl.
Okay, well then I
And a
can't
horse
really
girl.
hold it against. I can't hold it against this movie then if there's content that has it. But I did find like Tachyon pretty compelling in general, but I just sort of wanted there to like. I think that the constraints really do sort of bother me past a certain point. in terms of like how they're able to use the story and like mold it to be more interesting. I do understand why people enjoy it being an adaptation of the story or whatever, but it's just maybe not my cup of tea, I suppose. I would rather that they get more creative with it rather than it just being the horse gotta run fast every time.
Yeah, like my thing was, like, and Pat had mentioned this, but I mean, I talked about it because I was so excited at the beginning of this because I thought when Tachyon was going so fast, you could see the future, which is cool, by the way, and also that scene is sick. Like, it looks beautiful. There's like all the same. There's like a premonition of her hurting herself in the future, and then she runs past it and like shatters it. I thought they were going to do like an alternate future type of thing where Tachyon didn't get hurt. And I was like super psyched for that idea. Like the idea of someone who, was amazing but got hurt early and like how that would affect things and everything. But we didn't get that. And it's like a little unfair to judge it for something that I thought it was going to do that it didn't do, but also I'm going to do it right now. So
did you get enough of that with the Teo arc? Like she broke her leg like 4 times.
No, but like this is the same thing, right? Like Tachyon gets hurt, like Teo got hurt, and like in real life, Teo came back, right?
Yes.
But in this, I thought like Tachyon would literally change the future, like they would break from it, and we would get to see, Jungle Pocket
You
or
want
whatever
Steins
Pocket.
Gate.
I want Steins. Yes, I think I literally said that at some point. I want Umamusume Steins Gate. I want the powers they have to be closer to literal powers than Demon Slayer. It doesn't actually look like this thing, Like I want Tachyon to literally be able to see the future, like she's Contessa from Worm, and go on from that.
To go along with your point though, Miles, like I think that's a fair. I get why you're saying like it's not fair to say because the show didn't do what I wanted. It's not fair to judge that show for it. But like, what are they doing by telling these stories, or how much different can a horse? If the horse girl stories are going to be based almost entirely on the careers of the horses, how different, other than injury and coming back from injury before the career could start, so it's sad, or having a rival that they want to beat in like the Triple Crown race, because just like in like tennis or golf or any of the other sports that aren't like the major 4, the only things that matter are the majors or the Triple Crown in horse racing, right? Like how different of a story can you really
We need more
make?
problematic horses.
Or
Yeah,
and that's what I thought Tachyon was going to be. I thought she was going to be like a psycho. I thought she was going to be a yandere, but no, she just likes a lot of sugar in her coffee. I get like I don't know. Like
we need Mujica.
Yeah. Because okay, say what you like. I think Pat would even agree with this. Like Pat does not like any of the Bang Dream stuff, but at least Ave Mujica was willing to let the horses. Let the girls be a little problematic and have issues.
Look at women now.
I think all women
are horse girls.
This is the end of Watch Club. Thanks for joining us, guys. We made it 6 years.
It's my last Watch Club by coincidence. It's over.
No, but you're right. It didn't just stick with the same. And again, I understand I am not the target audience, and I am very fatigued on these things: horse girls, idol shows, sports shows, and music shows, I guess, in general. And this hits 3.5 of those boxes. So I am probably not the least biased voice to speak on this, but I'm just frustrated that it's like, is this really the only trope that sports anime can do? And it feels like it is, based on the limitations that Cygames have set up for themselves. And I think it's fair to blame them for that instead of being creative with these horses and their stories. Unless, again, this is all just some goal to sell more gotchas, and in which case it's working for them. So why would they change it? So I think
I think it's not. I think the gotcha funds this. They like the animation. They like, because they put on amazing shows. And I mean, I'm not even like an Umamusume hater, right? Like I have Cinderella Grey at an 8, and I have the second season at an 8. I like what they do enough. But Pete, I want you, someone who liked this a lot, right?
Yep.
This obviously the story connected with
Ew.
you. Okay.
Sorry.
It's honestly super fair. But I want to, you know, people like this. So Pete, what connected with you? What did you like about it? You know, because
Yeah, I think because it dives really into like how big of a fan you are and how much you want to like invest yourself into this franchise. Because let's be real, I think the reason why this movie is so high is because, like, in terms of rating, is because the people who want to watch Umamusume are going out and watching. I do think if this was on like Crunchyroll or Prime or whatever, that this score would be lower. So like I do think that the 8.65 on like Mal is a little inflated, but I like disagree with like the creativity of the show. Like I think for if you take a horse who has 4 races and you want to showcase that horse who only had that many races, I think the best way to do so is to do it in a movie and then sort of showcase like these different people in this small era. Because I think like this is right before the golden like boom of like Japanese horse racing. That's when we start getting like the special weeks. I think Oguri was a little bit after special week, but like this is like this time frame.
Oguri's before, isn't
Is it
she?
before? Okay.
Oguri I thought was like late 80s, early 90s.
Okay, so this is pre-Oguri. Or sorry,
This is
post Oguri,
pre-special week, because Tachyon and Special Week are half siblings.
Yes. Okay. So since I like I'm obviously super biased because I really enjoyed this franchise, but I think like if you wanted to,
I've clearly looked into it.
Like if you wanted to showcase, if you wanted to showcase like 4 races that is the beginning of like this golden age of horse racing in Japan, like I think they did a really good job at doing. Like, I think they did a good job at showcasing obviously it's called being in the era, showcasing the era of what horse racing is versus the characters in the cast and what it's portraying. So I definitely see everybody's like I agree. Like I personally I don't think Jungle Pocket is good as a character. Like we did like a watch party and someone mentioned that like Jungle Pocket was a very shonen main character. And to me, that was a little different. Oh, hi, Kayla. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than how other main characters were portrayed in the story. So now I lost my train of thought because we got Kayla aggro during the podcast, but we'll just continue without Miles. But while Jungle Pocket, I don't think was like obviously Jungle Pocket had to be the main character because of like the era that they're portraying in. And I liked sort of how they made Jungle Pocket a character. Like Jungle Pocket is very different than Special Week, very different than Teo, very different than Ogre, but didn't do some of the things that the other main characters of Umamusume do. And I think that's a detriment, but I don't know. I think someone like Tachyon was such a breath of fresh air in the Uma franchise because I think a lot of them can get really tropey really fast. And characters like Agnes and characters like Goldship are the reasons why I like Umamusume, because they're so different, because they're creative. Like having a mad scientist Uma and the way that they portrayed it, I thought was done fantastic. So yeah, that's
okay.
Kind of
so I think Miles and I would agree with you.
Yeah.
On that last point, which is why we were so frustrated because they do it for all of 25 minutes and then practically drop it entirely and then just leave her in the background for the rest of the movie, which again follows her career or whatever happened to her. And she does get that little like redemption arc at the end where she gets inspired to practice or at least like run again or whatever. But like we don't see her struggles really outside of a short montage. Like I feel like this movie should have had her and her like figuring out that she wanted to race or wanted to have a rival again. Yeah, like with injury or like motivation.
So I think there's 2 parts that like really showcases the entire red scene that they have. I think really showcase sort of how Agnes was like taking all of this. Like we saw sort of I'm not gonna say like a descent into madness type of thing, but she was struggling really hard with not racing because I think what the show did a great job was it seemed like Agnes didn't like really care as much as the other horses. She was just naturally gifted. And then you see her spend more and more time in the lab. It gets more and more dirty. And like she's always just focusing on the actual horses. So I thought they did like a really good job at showcasing like she does care. And then the red scene was just like, I think, a accumulation of like everything that she was going through in that moment.
I honestly wish there was more focus on that. Like that's my issue because those two scenes, I liked those scenes. Those scenes were very short. We mostly got Jungle Pocket, whose arc didn't even make sense to me because she won. She won a major. She won a leg of the Triple Crown. And then she was like, I don't know if I'm good enough to win. And it's like, you just won.
Well,
you just did.
She won without it's the thing where
do you think Hakeem Olajuwon cares that Michael Jordan wasn't in the league when he won his rings?
Well, he was in the league when he won one of his rings.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
The Yuri get back.
Okay,
Whatever.
so let's be technical here. Michael Jordan was in the league when the Houston Rockets won in '94, but
okay,
it's so because it happens with Manhattan Cafe as well as Jungle Pocket, and it's sort of like chasing the ghost. It's chasing the leader where Jungle Pocket won a major but never beat Tachyon, and that was sort of like which Umamusume series was that? Was that the Teo one where like she never beat McQueen or something like that? But like it's like I don't know. Like I do think that they had the story beats there for what they were trying to. I just think it was super rushed, but I think the beats were there.
Yeah, maybe you're right insofar as it needs a series and it focuses on Tachyon more at the beginning. Like you actually spread her races out a couple of episodes or something, because what I was disappointed in and what I know Pat and maybe Jolene were disappointed in was that, like, I don't know, it just felt like Tachyon, like you had mentioned, sort of breaks the mold, and I don't think I would call her a main character. I think I would call her like the most supporting character of this, right? Like if there were Horse Girl Oscars, she would be up for supporting actress in this, where Jungle Pocket would be up for like, you know,
a Razzie.
And I don't necessarily, I don't hate Jungle Pocket that much. I just think she's a little boring.
I think it's like she's the worst of the main characters, but I don't think she's bad.
I found that I was missing Special Week a little bit. I want to clarify this. I was like, oh, I kind of miss Special Week. And that was not a sentence I thought I was ever going to say. But I think that it's just like, and I want this place, this franchise to go out of its comfort zone a little bit more than it has, because I've seen it do its comfort zone sort of every time now. And I want to see it get a little weird with it, like Bang Dream has, You
want weird. I feel you.
Yeah, and it doesn't even need to be weird. I'd be happy with Umamusume My Go even, but like, which is like slightly weirder than your normal Bang Dream. It's like, at least they don't sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in it. Like,
thank God.
My PTSD is like killing me right now. Like Umamusume, Bang Dream, My Go. My God.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, Pete, I honestly think you playing the game really helps flesh
100%.
This movie out for you. I think that's sort of because you are capable of filling in these blanks in the characters where the rest of us are missing them.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Next topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I was looking at the list.
We have like 9
what
of them.
would be a good. No,
Yeah,
but like what would be a good one to I guess like we kind of talked about it a little bit. One of these coming from Champ Eagle, one of our Discord members and a very faithful listener. So thank you for listening.
And Champ, we're very sorry for this episode.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I feel bad. Yeah, I don't want to be mean or rude to people. I get why people like things.
I feel okay with it because I like the other Uma stuff we've watched for the most part. So I feel like I could be mean to this one. Everyone gets it.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed to. There we go.
That's true. Yeah. I can't even. So
I liked the others more than this one, so I'll give you a hint of my score right now. But I think one of the good questions, we kind of talked about like the sports anime aspect of this a little bit earlier. So this question coming from Champ, or this point more coming from Champ, that Beginning of a New Era currently ranks at number 7 in the sports anime genre on Mal by score, which is one spot ahead of Ping Pong the Animation. That is
Which is
crazy.
that's crazy. Let's be real.
That's
insane.
that is so insane for me to say that out loud, but it's true. And then they ask, where does it rank among your favorite sports anime? For example, Medalist is number 22, 100 Meters, which we haven't watched yet, is number 21. Cinderella Gray Part 1 is number 12, and Part 2 is number 5.
Number five,
Okay. Wow.
Cinderella Gray is better than this, by the way, Pat. I know it won't be your cup of tea either, but you would like it more than you like this.
I would hope so. That's not
Pat
a high
would
bar,
like
unfortunately.
Oguri. I think you'd like her a lot.
Does she?
She's very different from the other main.
She kind of does. So like the joke, one of the jokes, it's like takes place in the 80s. So they like the idol performances that they do are like very low budget, and like she doesn't know how to do them. And I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny.
It's super fun.
I forgot the idol aspect of the show until it happened. I can't lie. I like totally memory banked it or memory hold it. Like I just completely forgot. And it was just like, what a wonderful way to finish the show. But anyways, let's answer the question. How does this compare to other sports anime that you have watched? I wouldn't mind going first, but if someone else wants to go first, they can.
I'll go last.
Let's end with Pete so we end on a high note. Let's start with me so we start on a low note, and we can maybe go up. But this is probably my least favorite sports thing I've watched. So the only other sports thing that I've seen, I don't watch a ton of sports anime, so I tend to pick and choose, right? It's things that I think I'm gonna like, for the most part. Like obviously I love Ping Pong and Medalist a ton. Those are probably like my top 2. Yuri on Ice is gonna be up there. I like the fastest soccer show. That is a personal flaw of mine, but I like Blue Lock quite a bit. I just love the absurdity of it. And I don't like Haikyuu, but I think I like Haikyuu more than this. So, because I think Haikyuu gets better as it goes on, and this doesn't have the chance to. And this is also my least favorite Umamusume thing. So all the Umamusume stuff is better than this. I don't know if I'm forgetting some sort of sports show that I've watched that I hate, but like Megalobox, that's up there. Like especially
Turkey.
The second season was really good. I like Turkey more than this. Yeah. For me, it's just not up there. I think it's just rather generic. It is probably the best looking sports thing I've watched. I'll give it that. But I think the story that they picked to adapt is wholly uninteresting, and I think that sort of kills it for me.
Agree. It does look very pretty or polished. I'd say polish is more the word I would use. I think it is a little, again, it's not my style of show, so it probably poisons my ability to enjoy it, but it's very well polished and clearly had a lot of effort go into it. Jolene, how does it compare to your favorite sports anime, would you say?
I mean, well, my favorite is also Ping Pong, so that's like a super high bar, and it's just like doing something very unique and interesting, as well as having like amazing character arcs for the entire widespread cast. So it feels almost unfair to compare in a way whenever, like, it's almost like unfair to compare because of the fact that this is a movie, so it just can't have the same amount of characterization as a series if they're on somewhat equal footing in terms of writing. And Ping Pong just goes above and beyond that. This, I think, like, it really does feel like it was just Cygames flexing, like Pete said earlier. In terms of production value, the like animation is some of the best that I've ever seen. Like, I prefer the animation in this to another racing movie that everybody loves, Redline. I think that I enjoyed this a little bit more than Redline overall, in my opinion, actually.
This is better than High Speed Atelier. Does that count as a sports anime?
There you go. Indirectly,
Sure.
right? Yeah.
Okay, we got there.
Okay.
Oh,
and
wow.
I also think that the music was really solid in this, which is something we didn't really give props to, but I enjoyed like all of it. Even the idol performance was pretty good, but I wouldn't call myself an idol hater at this point. It's growing on me.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was just the red line call out. I always forget that that's like a sports anime technically because it is racing, right? Gosh, I guess I was looking at my scores and I don't think I have any other sports anime nearly as low other than Pride of Orange. It's around the same level as that, if you want to call Pride of Orange a sports
It's
anime.
kind of like
Uh,
Umamusume if you think about it.
it really, oh wow, it's almost like there's a consistency there or something. Or a reason I might not like them. Yeah, no, well, the other Umamusumes are down there too, but Redline, gosh, that's a really good. I guess I enjoyed
Thank you.
Redline more. I was Ping Pong is probably my favorite sports anime as well in terms of like critically. I would say enjoyment wise, I think Megalobox. I think someone else mentioned that already. That's another great one. What was I had one more that I had noticed when I was just looking at my list. Where'd it go? I lost it on my place, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big sports anime guy, so I can't really say it's my favorite topic, or something that I've watched a ton of outside of the ones that we've watched in Watch Club. But yeah, definitely this is
It's weird because
nothing
you're
like
such a big sports guy.
we've talked about this a little bit before, I think, but it's yeah, I think a big part of it is as such a big sports guy, I want to watch actual sports when I watch sports, and I want to be surprised. I want to enjoy the athleticism of the sport and the skill expression. And there has yet to really be an anime, even out of the ones I named as being that I liked, that can compare in terms of entertainment value to why I like sports. You know, the
The highs and
adrenaline,
lows of high school
the
football.
the fandom.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know me, I love my non NFL football. That's like
Oh
my
no,
favorite
I
thing.
was quoting
Yeah.
Riverdale. I apologize.
Oh, fair enough, fair
There's-
enough, fair enough. Yeah, no, but like I guess I don't know, like sports anime, it's almost never about the sport itself, which I guess again, I get it. It's the vehicle, not the story. But like I want them to be the story. I like I like football because I think it's like there's such sick levels of athleticism shown by and in different ways. You know, you got your 350-pound linemen that are just freaks of nature that the way that they're able to make their bodies move is insane. And then you got the wide receivers who are really fast and agile, good hands, whatever, quarterbacks that can practically see the future. God, I'm like describing an anime right now, but like seriously, like I feel like they really that's why I like sports. And I feel like that doesn't get come across the anime medium that well, which is why I don't know. I'd rather watch rom-coms or dramas and things like that in anime, generally speaking. But yeah, sorry, a little sidebar there. But yeah, those are my top sports anime, I'd say. Pete, what about you? Where would this rank as the fan? I
Okay,
guess
yeah.
among Musume too specifically. I'd be curious.
Yeah, so according to Mel, I have seen 43 sports anime. Nothing will probably ever top Haikyuu for me. I just think it's the best representation of team sports in anime. Period. I think it's just absolutely incredible. But I put Umamusume on the same level as let's see, Yuri on Ice, Run with the Wind, Megalobox, Medalist, and Turkey. That's about it. Like, I think Umamusume is an incredible sports anime. Like, how it what it showcases and how it showcases it. I think it does a really good job, especially with Injury. I think Injury is a really like not many sports anime. I feel like dive into Injury, and which is why season 2 of Umamusume is my favorite one still. But yeah, I just think it's incredible and what they are doing, what Side Games is doing to just continually raise the bar on this franchise is incredible to see. Like every iteration we get is better than the last. And well, I mean, maybe not story wise, but like you can tell that they are putting money into this franchise, that they care and that they want to showcase this. And I love the fact that like they are to the book. Like I love that because like it showcases. I don't know. It's sort of like an autobiography in a way. Like it's the real life telling of these horses just in a fun, whimsical way. So I just think Umamusume is fantastic. Like I love it. And the more that we get, the more I just keep getting more and more invested. I mean, fuck, dude. Like I'm one of these races in the movie I will be at in Japan when I'm there. I'm going to was it the like the Kiko show, I think it is, or something like that. Like I'm going to that when I'm in Japan. Like I am visiting Gold Ship when I am in Japan. Like I'm super biased, but I think it's so cool that the medium that we love talking about, that we're passionate about, that instead of it being fake and fiction, these are real. I mean, the other horses, they're real, and you can go see them. And like, I just think that's awesome, and no other anime
Yeah.
does that. And I think that's what I mean. It's just one of many reasons why I just love Umamusume.
Yeah, that's fair. And you mentioned the Medalist and Yuri on Ice. Those were the two that were blanking from my mind earlier. I guess my counter to that would be I like what you just described liking about Umamusume, which I do appreciate, by the way, too. I've that they are all real horses. I think that that is one of the cooler things, and it shows an appreciation for the history behind it and the sport itself by the maybe the original creator. Who knows? That it's such got to be such a big machine and project now
Yeah.
that's just printing money. That who knows how invested the people currently writing it are, but like they're it started that way, right? It started as a passion project. I think that that's why I like so many of the historical dramas or Fate, for example. I love how it starts with the inspiration of the original myths or actual, characters or characters, people from our from our history. But I like that then takes it and does its own thing with it, or like like any of those stories that take Oda Nobunaga and throw him into like modern day or something along those lines. Like I like that because it's different and it lets that character or their personality or their history influence and change their current time or change the story that they're involved in, which is what I kind of wish we'd get with Uma, where so like Gold Ship, I love that you're visiting them as well. I think that's really fun while you're in Japan. Like, what if they're like we see their personality come through, right? They're kind of just really obsessed with or food driven or food motivated, maybe is a way to put it, right?
That's
Um,
Oguri.
oh, is that
Gold
Oguri?
Ship
I
is
thought
like
that was
if a horse took meth. That's Gold Ship.
oh, okay. Am I mixing up Gold Chip with yeah, you're right.
Oguri's the fatty.
You're probably
angry one.
thinking of Special Week,
Who's
Pat, because
also
that's the one
fatty.
you've seen that likes eating.
they all blend together for me at this point. But yeah, so like that, but like using them as an example, like that personality was shown, and I wish that they like kind of drove with that, or like using this history, they won this horse was this close to winning that triple crown, but injury held them back or something held them back. Like what could we do with that? How can we make it almost an alternate history rather than playing it so by the book? That's where and a lot of my frustration is with this show, or this
Franchise.
not media franchise. Thank you, gosh. But yeah, I guess we have a couple other questions that would be fun to address.
Okay, I would like to talk about because we should talk about like the something that does the production value.
Yes,
So
please. I have
where
one that I wanna
there's
talk about.
specific visual or musical moments that heighten tension or victory or anything like that. That's one of the questions Champ has provided, and I think that would be a good one to talk about because I think everyone probably has a highlight cool looking
Can I
moment.
start?
Yes.
The coolest thing that they did. So in each race, they do a Sakuga moment on like the last corner. Every race has like this big Sakuga moment into the straightaway. And they did it four different ways on each quarter for the four races that they had. And I thought that was spectacular. So like the first one was just like a traditional watching them come around the corner type of shot. The second one was them zooming in on like the track marker with how much distance is. And they keep changing how they are portraying the final corner. And I just thought like in terms of direction, that was just such a cool like move to do as the director, that you could have just done the same four corner shots every single time, and they didn't, and they changed it. And I also want to give a shout, the sound design in this show or this movie, in fucking credible. Like there's a scene where they are just walking past leaves, and the whole time I was watching this, I was like, the sound design is incredible. There's some crazy leaves on not crazy. There's some leaves on the floor. I wonder what they're going to do with it. And I thought they're going to like step on it and it just like the wind blows it away. But like it was done in just a manner that was a reflection of just the high level of budget and high level of just quality that we got, that even a scene with leaves blowing away was so noticeable to me that I have to give it all of its flowers or all of its leaves. Like this was one of the best designed movies I have ever seen. And that's not just anime, just how everything was portrayed and laid out. And just put together made this movie going experience such a wonderful treat. And that's not even including the visuals, which were fucking bananas. Like, one of the most visually stunning movies I have ever seen. Like, Cygames was just flexing the whole time. They said, "You ain't gonna do nothing about it. You're gonna watch this and you're gonna be amazed." I said, "Yes, Cygames, take all my money. I am your loyal servant forever." Just wow. Just wow. And if we watch 100 meters, eventually, it's the same thing, but for a completely different reason. And that's why I love anime. Like, it's just so many unique things you can do with the animation, and they knocked it out of the park. Now, someone else can shit on it.
Well, we're not going to shit on it because we're specifically talking about moments we liked, Pete.
Okay. I thought we were talking
that's why
specifically like production.
Yeah, we're talking production moments that helped us enjoy the series in some way, and I'm sure we can all think of that at least. So for me, the Agnes Tachyon race, her first one where she explains what a tachyon is and like how it's her job to prove that that's real, and then she just like goes like into fucking warp speed like it's Star Wars, and you see all of the like different physics equations and everything like flying by her and everything. I thought that was super cool. And when it was like she sees the future and she sees like her heel shattering and she moves past that and like runs through it and absolutely crushes the race, I thought that was great. From a pure production standpoint, when Jungle Pocket reaches out and like skull crushes Tachyon,
So good.
I thought that was really cool, though I did roll my eyes a little bit because I was mad that she was beating Tachyon, because Tachyon is a cool character and Jungle Pocket is not. So, um, and I was sad I wasn't getting to see Tachyon like go so fast that she exploded the earth or something, like the Hadron Collider going wrong. I'm so bad at noticing sound design. I'm just gonna have to trust you that it was good. That's something I'm gonna focus on. New year, anime resolution for Miles. Focus on sound design and stuff and how that
Close your
works.
eyes for a couple seconds. And just it's the
Do you
same
have a
thing with,
subwoofer?
it's the same thing with
for surround
OST.
sound?
It's the OST.
No.
The key for is a good OST is, did you notice it? Same thing with the sound design. Did you notice the sound? Like, did you notice the different movements? And if you did, that's a good indication, not the indication, but a good indication that it's good.
The issue is that I basically never do. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I guess it also probably helps that
Yeah.
I watched this movie on like a surround, like my headphones are like really good, so that helps too.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Yeah.
have
I mean, I don't
you
know.
have a
Like,
Target headset.
it's not from Target.
It looks like it.
Okay, that's real.
Yeah. Okay. I know
You
someone
probably
else.
buy it
rolled-
at Target.
while we're dunking on Miles, I notice you. I'm sure someone else rolled their eyes when you said this. It's light speed, Miles, in Star Wars, not warp speed. I don't know where you got that from, but
That's
please
Star
make sure you're
Trek,
correct.
that's
Star
warp
Trek.
speed?
different franchise. Some might
Yeah.
not know.
Isn't it? Wait, they go
It's
into
hyperspace. Hyperspace. They go at light speed. Warp speed is not. Or warp,
Is it not FTL? For it is FTL. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Jolene, what is your Sakuga moment?
Actually, it does. It does. But yeah, sorry, Jolene, please.
There was just like one moment in particular when they're like rounding a corner and you just see a big fucking hoof stomp down into the dirt, and I was like, damn, that was satisfying from both a visual perspective and you just like felt it. Like, it's like when you're watching like a good fight or something and you can feel the impact in the blows. Like, that's how I think that overall, like, that's what I enjoyed about like the running aspect of it, is that the sound design and impact and the like it really convinces you that how powerful and frightening Uma would be. Like, they would do some episode 1 of The Boys shit where they would get like drunk and run through your girlfriend.
The tire,
and not
the weapon of mass
Yeah.
destruction that they have at their disposal, that giant tire that they use for training.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Gold chip A training the hell out of someone.
That'd be great. And she would not
Oh
that's
my
exactly who would be, that's exactly who would be
100%.
to his gold
Yep.
chip.
and she would not
It's-
apologize.
No.
She go, excuse me, and then leave.
Miles, you stole mine. I was going to say that. Well, I think we're talking about the same scene with Tachyon. The way that the light or the footstep was shown in it, like ahead of her. I thought that was really pretty, and it was definitely the first moment I noticed that the animation was really, really good. I think another compliment I can give it is there was a lot more passive stuff I noticed going on in the background too. Because again, I wasn't like in those specific moments, those Sakuga moments that Pete's calling them, like they definitely, it was noticeable, the production, but in particular their ears will flick in the background randomly when they hear something or when noise is made, and you'd hear their when each foot hits the ground, it sounds different, and I thought that was a lot more noticeable, at least in this movie, rather than when I watched the show. But I also, again, I don't remember anything from the show. I feel like I don't. It's weird. So maybe I just missed it earlier. But that was also like a production aspect that I thought that it was really well done. Was the I guess that's sound design. Really, really well done there.
Can I comment real quick on like the Who stuff?
Yeah.
Because what it reminds me of, and speaking of like good sound design, like if you close your eyes and listen to like a Shohei Ohtani home run, you don't need to see that it's a home run. Like, you know, it's a home run. And that's kind of like what the movie did with like the force of their movements, where it was like you didn't need to see it, you could hear it. Like, you knew.
Okay, wait, that's the plot of a Clint Eastwood movie.
Is it?
What's that? Yeah, Clint Eastwood baseball movie.
Raging Bull?
1 second.
No, that's not him. That's a
Trouble with the Curve.
That movie sucks.
He's like, yeah, but it's like the whole thing. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't suck. I'm saying it's the plot of the movie. Because
what Clint Eastwood movie doesn't suck? Let's be real.
Gran Torino. That's a banger. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Never heard of it.
Really good.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
The one where he plays a
Was
drug
he Taxi
mule is
Driver?
okay. No, that's Robert De Niro.
I don't know who anyone is.
The drug mule one where he has two separate threesomes in the movie.
Dude, fucks.
Okay, that actually,
as an 85 or 90-year-old man. Shout out.
He's just like me for real.
I guess shout out.
That's where I'm going to be at, but not a man.
But you will be a drug mule?
Yeah.
You didn't deny the drug mule part.
With how things are going right now, like, I mean, I'm definitely not going to be able to. There's not going to be any Social Security for me, so fuck it, we ball.
Yep.
We got to do what we got to do. Trouble
Feel
with
it
the
from
curve
the
is
people who get it. Sorry, Miles.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm an estrogen mule.
You can home make estrogen somehow by like purifying horse urine, right?
It's a. I don't know about that part, but
Okay.
DIY is a big thing. I don't want to do that because you got to boof it, and like
no boof.
You can't go get like your levels tested and whatnot. So I'm just like, bro, I don't want to fuck my shit up. What if I got wonky titties? What would happen?
I'm sure that's the most major possible side effect from.
For me, honestly, yes.
Anyways, the point is, Trouble with the Curve is that he's a scout who's gone blind, and he's like, I don't like analytics because analytic people don't actually go and watch games, and they do, but in this movie they don't.
So it's the opposite of Moneyball.
Yeah, and he like hears the guy pitching, and he's like, with like the sound it makes when it goes in the catcher's glove, and he's like, this guy's gonna be it, and
he was.
Yeah, and then the other people didn't know someone couldn't hit a curveball because they never watched his game, as if analytics don't separate things by pitch. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, what?
We're not reviewing the 2012 movie Trouble with the Curve. It's a movie that is maybe worse than this Umamusume movie.
Yeah, when we get done with Twilight movies, maybe we move on to Trouble with the Curve, and then just so Pat's happy, we can watch, what's the Jimmy Fallon movie that's about the Red Sox?
Fever Pitch.
Fever Pitch. We can watch Fever Pitch.
Oh, we could also watch 80 for Brady for Pat.
Ooh,
I haven't seen that. I've heard good things. I've heard
of
good
course
things
you
by
have.
that. What about?
Isn't that about like a whole bunch of old ladies who want to bang Tom Brady?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly,
I just like real life. It's based on a true story. No, by the time we get there, though, it'll be what, Gay for May at that point? Is that where we'll be? Like that's the movie or something like that? I don't know. Good luck. Okay, what do we want to do? One more question, or do we want to do closing thoughts? What do we think? I think we're close on time, but
There's something I want to talk about here.
Let's do
Because
it.
I think this movie I think it would be interesting, but it's this. Do you think this film prioritizes realism or mythos, and how do you think it impacts it? I think I'm going to answer first. I've been complaining the entire time that this movie follows reality too much. With that being said, I think this movie prioritizes mythos, and I think that is a good decision for this movie.
I know I was gonna say, I know I said all this, I'm gonna contradict myself entirely.
So while I think that it sticks with plot points that happened in real life, right? Like the events have to happen. However, and I know this is going to be hard for some people to believe, the horse Jungle Pocket had no issues with the horse Agnes Tachyon. Probably didn't even have an understanding that horse was beating it. Because it was a horse.
True. True.
So,
True.
So, by necessity, they do add some mythos to that. And I while I wish they went further, and maybe changed events some, the way that, other movies based on real things do, like the Titanic or whatever, to like make them slightly more interesting, that I think they do a pretty good job within the constraints of this real life story, of which this one I think that they picked is just truly not that interesting, of adding motivations and stuff. Like I think they did a good job of personifying these horses and giving them a mythos, right? A reason, a thing they were chasing, other than they were just running because they're horses and that's what they do. So I think that it does play into the mythos a bit, because you have to add myth to this, because there aren't any real motivations because they're horses. So I think
considered carrot.
Yeah. Well, that was season 1, and they did a good job adding some extra stuff to this. So I think they do that. I wish they would build a little more myth into this world, but I think that they don't prioritize reality as much as mythos, even though that was a major complaint of mine, that they prioritized reality too much. I guess I just wanted it to be very heavy towards like the mythos side. What is everyone else's thoughts on this?
Oh man, I'm trying to think, because like in terms of like the mythos side, because it can expand it in other series. Would you ever get around to watching like Core 2, someone like Obey Your Master was changed, because that horse's name isn't Obey Your Master. It was like something the butler.
Pay the butler.
Pay the butler. But then they changed.
Why do I know more horse lore than Pete? What am I doing?
You don't. I didn't know one horse's name, and you think that you know.
No, I knew when Ogiri was. I'm just saying, this episode I've been on the horse facts.
Oh my god. Okay. First of all, relax. You don't.
Guys, I wasn't trying to offend you, Pete. I wasn't trying to.
You know, I got one thing going in my life, and that's my Umamusume facts. I guess. Yeah, maybe play more into the. I guess like someone like Takyon's character, I think like being more yandere-ish would have been a better choice than sort of how she's perceived at the end, where she comes to like the realization. I kind of do wish she was a little bit more the mad scientist and not like the data crunching nerd that she actually ended up being. But like Umamusume does do the mythos well. I think I'm with you. I think they should have moved a little bit more into that sphere, into the mythos, and then the realistic. And I think it would have been a little, especially for a shorter movie where like we're not fleshing out the characters as much, we're not fleshing out the storylines as much. I think going in that direction would be better.
Which one do you think it does more though? Like out of curiosity, like the movie as is. Like I agree it should move more, but do you think which one does it prioritize? You think it's like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other?
I think
6, 7.
I think you could do either or. I think you could literally do it either or. I don't think like one stood out more than the other to me.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, I didn't really have much to add. I think I agree with both of you, where like if it's gonna do one, I want it to do it all the way, if that makes sense. I think I kind of expressed my thoughts on this earlier too, that I wanted them to break the mythos earlier. Jolie, do you have anything on this, or all square?
I think that the horse Steins Gate comment from the beginning is just like really sums it up for me, honestly. Like I would have preferred them just go all in on the like fantasizing it, making the mythos a thing, like really personifying, like I don't know. Maybe I just don't have the appreciation for horse racing that other people do, and that might not help, honestly. I couldn't care less.
You know the appreciation for horse racing that I and only I on this podcast have? That's
Yeah.
The high bar. Yeah.
Sorry, Pete, I just had to.
I can relate, Jolene, for sure. But yeah, why don't we do our closing thoughts and final scores to tally up for Umamusume Pretty Derby, beginning of a new era. Miles, can you start for us, please?
Yeah, so I think we've talked about this movie to a point where I think people understand. I want to spend my closing thoughts to sort of talk about what I liked about Tachyon and which I would have gotten to see more. I think that her relatively callous nature with her data crunching, like Pete said he didn't like that. I kind of liked that. As someone who is a scientist and has lots of scientist friends, one of the flaws we have as people is that we tend to be a little overly analytic at times and not necessarily empathetic enough at all times. We view everything as an experiment or a data set to be collected because that is our job and what we are presumably good at. So Tachyon's general harsh tone and like obsession with data collection and everything I thought was good. Not that I wouldn't have also appreciated some mad scientist things. I hope that if they ever decide to break from reality, like I've heard that they do in the game sometimes, that I guess they have to, right?
Yeah,
You
they
can't
have
have
to.
Tachyon the character and only let her run in 4 races and be like, "No, your character's done."
She's a
that would
trainer
be
now. Get in the lab.
yeah. But like I hope they like expand on that because I really am interested in her character, and I would like to see some of these less I just want to be the best and run really fast horse girls shown more. That's what I would like to see. This movie was a little hard to score for me because I thought the production value was really great, but I just sort of like actively disliked it while I was watching it after I sort of realized what they were going to do with it. And anyways, I gave it a 4. It's a 4 out of 10 for me.
Wow, I thought you were gonna give it a 6.
No,
No.
yeah. So it was between a 5 and a 4 for me. I gave the original series a 4, and I like this worse. So I had to decide if I wanted to maybe even bump this down to a 3, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think this is a 4 for me. I just didn't. I didn't even have like the ironic enjoyment the first Umamusume gave me with Horse Purgatory. This was just. It's not like I just hate the series either. I just did not like this movie. I didn't like the movie. I was disappointed with the movie.
I'm disappointed in you.
That's fair. I did think TM Opera was pretty fucking cool, so maybe I'll like that other movie more. Because she just had like a ton of aura.
You'll like it more because NTR is in the next movie.
There's NTR in the next movie?
Narita Top Road, NTR.
Oh god, I was hoping one of the horse girls would cheat on one of the other horse girls.
We were so close to a Yuri storyline in this one too. So close.
Well, spoiler alert on what they'll never do.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Scarlet and Vodka might fuck an Umamusume. I'm just gonna say that. They might.
Yeah, not in the TV show though, right? Like game only, like it's Starlight Review.
In the R34
Starlight
stuff,
Review,
yeah.
huh?
Did I get it wrong?
This is the 3 meme. It's Review Starlight, sorry. It's just
okay. My
Well,
apologies.
you were holding your hand off camera too.
Oh,
so
sorry. I used 2 different
like
webcams.
that.
That's my fault. Yeah,
Okay.
you can't see it, can you?
No, not on mine at least. All right, Jolene, what are your closing thoughts and final score?
Yeah, I think that this movie is like a visual treat, and like it's a feast for the senses, as one might say. And I think that that's like really all it's got going for it. It's like one of those like cakes that's made out of like sugar glass and fondant and stuff like that on Cake Boss. But then you like kind of like look at them cut in and you're like, man, that looks like some dog shit on the inside, low key, like, or just really bland. Like, so I think that if you're somebody who really just wants to like watch horse girls run in like 4K, then this is probably for you. But if you're literally anybody else, there's like just better stuff to go watch, honestly. So I think for me, this is a 6.
Alrighty. Pete, what about you?
I thought this movie was, for an hour and 47 minutes, felt like 30 minutes. I had an absolute blast watching this movie. It was so much fun. The races were, I mentioned it, and Miles, you watch this. This is what I wanted Wand Dance to be. That when you have the pinnacle moments of your show, you go all out on those moments, and they went all out and then some. I think what they did was they made the focal point and the things that they needed to do the most the best, and they succeeded. I will say, in terms of story, easily the weakest Umamusume. I think it's even weaker than season 1. It's just none of the characters were fleshed out enough for me to like really like it. The only reason why I can like gravitate more to some of these characters is because I am involved in the franchise, because I play the game, because I like, I'm on the subreddit and stuff like that. Like, I love the franchise, so I'm more involved with it, and so I know more about these characters, and I like it. But I guess from like I would say, casual Umamusume fan perspective, there's like no one to really cheer for. Like, I don't know. Like, I think Cafe would have been really fun to cheer for if we got more of her. But like, we really don't see her like pop off until the end. And Manhattan Cafe is I just love the design. I love the energy drink versus coffee dynamic of those two.
Is she in another season highlighted? Because she has a lot of favorites.
I don't know if she's in season. No, she can't be. I haven't seen season 3 yet.
Because she has
she's
170 favorites
super popular in the
compared to-
game. Like,
in
really
the game.
popular in the
Okay,
game,
maybe that's
yeah.
it then.
She's
Okay.
a shy, sort of small and skinny girl character. I feel like I don't know. Like,
Well,
again,
I mean,
she has
I think her
double-
popularity
She has
is
split
fitting.
personality. Like, it depends on which version.
Yeah, she
of
does.
her.
Oh wait, was she in? Who was the person who did that in Ogiri Cap? Was that her?
The split personality? That's Obey Your Master.
one- No. Season 1, there's who like she has like the yellow eye and it like gleams at a certain point when she's getting like serious. If I secretly watched more Horse Girls than I thought
in
I had.
season 1 or in
No,
Cinderella
in Ogiri
Grey?
Cap season 1. Cinderella Grey.
Ogiri Cap is in season 1. She's in the cafeteria eating. Ha! Bet you didn't know that, Mr. Umamusume. Look at this fake Umamusume fan. Everybody make fun of Miles. He didn't know Oguri Cap
Yeah.
was in season 1. How embarrassing. But back to the review. I mean, while the story lacked, everything else was incredible. Like, not even kidding, maybe the best animated film I've ever seen. Like, mind-blowing the Sakuga that they did in some of that shit. Like, it was incredible. The sound design, the direction. Man, the direction of this movie was just so good. I also thought like they did the in-between moments, they were funny. Like, I liked how they changed like Jungle Pocket's face to have like this chibi / like cartoonish like look. They just did a really good job at like showcasing everything in the time allotted. Outside of fleshing out characters, which is really hard to do in an hour and 47 minutes, especially with a cast. So my rankings would go season 2, Cinderella Grey, and then the movie. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. All right. Yeah, I'm much closer to Miles. I think it looks very pretty, and that made it hard to score. Like he said, because it feels weird giving this score to something that looked so good, but the story was just terrible, I think, and repetitive, and did nothing different or new from the Umamusume that I have seen so far, to the point of frustration and anger. Me feeling anger because I wanted it to be new or different in any capacity, at least from my perspective. So I have this a 3 out of 10. Yeah, sorry. But also, isn't that surprising? I don't like
3
this
is
franchise.
surprising.
I think that this franchise is an abomination in a way.
You're an
So
abomination.
I am an abomination. We all are, aren't we? We're on an anime podcast, for Christ's sake. But yeah, I will I will average those scores real quick. I'm sorry. I see why it is popular, and I think that there are cool things about it. But this specific iteration in particular was very frustrating to me because at least with the others that I think I gave higher scores to, like what Miles said, I think I had season 1 at a 4. Like it just had more depth to it, and the same story wasn't being told to me again, just through different characters with similar quirks but different outfits, and that frustrates me. So yeah, we ended up with Umamusume Pretty Derby Beginning of a New Era at a 5.5, which is 3.1 points lower than what it is on Mal at 88.65. This is the number 83 most popular anime of all time on Mal. That's I guess we did our part in bringing that down a little bit.
I'm starting my own new
indirectly.
podcast. Just me, just Umamusume.
The Pete Umamusume hour.
Yeah, it's stuck like glue
I
or
feel like
something.
Jon Snow at the North Wall right now.
Was that another Star Wars reference?
Jing.
Jon Snow.
There you go. The Force is strong with him on Hoth. There you go.
Yeah, it's the most North-like planet. Good job.
I like Star Wars. That's why I was like, I can't believe you made the mistake. That's why I was so surprised by it, because I know you like Star Wars too, I thought. But yeah, that's speaking of Star Wars, that's the end of our Umamusume Pretty Derby Beginning of a New Era review. Miles, we compiled votes for our first themed week where we did the theme of the year 2025, basing our nominations entirely around that. We will have another themed week soon. In 5 minutes that
actually,
we'll be talking about. Yes. Well, no, yeah, that we will be disclosing then. So stay tuned for that. However, Miles, what won for the year 2025?
Yes, for the year 2025, in third place, we have the fragrant flower, blooms with dignity. In second place, we had City the Animation. And in first place, we have 100 meters. So we will be watching a movie about racing again. Will it get higher than a 5.5?
I could guarantee.
Probably.
Almost certainly.
I will guarantee everybody will like 100 meters.
I ran the 100 meter conference. So
is that
I'm going to be judging it
the donut shop was to your house?
Pretty harshly.
Why?
Let's go.
Don't ask what my conference was. It was like the small Catholic schools of Southeast Massachusetts conference or something. It was like
I was gonna say, Pete, take a lap, but wait, no, take a quarter lap.
Yes.
Actually. Well,
you're so funny.
Fucking got him.
Got him. But there we go. Yes, we are watching the movie 100 meters for our next watch club. And Miles, our next themed week was picked by Jolene based on the wheels results. We ended up doing the Unk themed week, where it's any show from 2006 or before, so about 20 years or older based on the time of us recording. Miles, what show did you end up picking? Or you had a couple options, right?
Yeah, so I mean, coincidence. So Pete and I were between two shows, and they happened to be the same show. But I think we picked different shows for our first ones, which was kind of funny. But I will be nominating Black Lagoon.
No, you took one of mine.
I thought you picked that too. Could you call it?
I said I had three.
What has Black Lagoon?
I had 3 shows, and funnily enough, Black Lagoon barely qualifies for this as something that aired in spring of 2006, but it does qualify. So, all right, now I'm down to 2 shows. So, Jolene and Pete, if you also have the same, all right. One thing we found out, I think, while looking through shows, or at least I did, because I spent a good amount of time doing it. There are no single core shows pre-2003 that are really worth watching, or there's one every 5 years. It feels like everything else is like a long running series. Like, of course, there's plenty of great shows from back then, but they're all like 30 episode season. So it's tough to do that for our watch club. But I'm curious, Jolene, what did you end up picking for Unk Week? Or
I'm picking
Aunt Week, maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, Auntie.
Auntie.
Angel's Egg.
Angels.
I'm not an ant. I don't like sugar water. Angel's Egg by Mamoru Oshii.
I like sugar water. Angel's Eggs, that's a sick fucking pick. Good job.
Well done. All right, Pete, what about you?
A show that has been on my plan to watch forever. I'm gonna nominate Kino's Journey.
I saw that
That
one
one,
and I
yeah.
was like, that's not me. I was like, I think someone else is gonna take that, so I better not.
It was my
Good.
second one.
There you go. We're just so in tune, you know. All right.
We clearly agree so much all the
time. All right. I'm stuck between two. Someone pick a number between 1 and 2 quickly.
2.
1.
1.5.
Pete, Pete, God damn it! All right, someone Pete
That's
tie break this.
technically
1
a
or
number
2.
between 1 and 2.
A whole number between 1
In
and 2.
fact, actually, I was going to say
he's the only one.
Neither of the numbers, Jolene and I picked our numbers between 1 and 2. Yeah.
Here's my logic. I feel like the number 1 show is the show that you wanted to watch the most, and because you gave Umamusume a 3, I'm gonna go with number 2.
It was the order that they appeared on my tabs, so no worries. So we are not going to be nominating Ninja Scroll, the movie. It's a 7.61 and it's from 93, baby. That's got to be pretty good. Instead, and careful what you think, we're going to be watching, or I'm going to be nominating.
This thing's calling a shot.
I'm calling my shot. Yeah, no. From the year 2000, Carried by the Wind, Tsukikage Ran. It's a historical anime.
Yeah, it's a bad show.
It said Edo or Tokugawa period, and I was like, oh, that looks okay, and it's a 7.09 on Mouse, so don't watch it. But, you know, we'll see. So anyone can win Unk/Auntie Week. We'll find out. But that is our themed week. If you have a themed week idea that you want to share with us that you think that we would enjoy, please do share it in our Discord. That was a very late and sick plug, but sick plug, Pat. And with that, I think we'll wrap up Watch Club. Pete, take it away.
If you have made this far and you want to support us, the best way to do so, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on whatever platform you're watching or listening to us on. Next week, we have begun Anime of the Year. So we'll be doing our nomination episode. So every category will have 6 nominations, and every time you vote, 1 vote per person. Me and Miles will be donating $1 to a local food shelf. And maybe Pat, depending on his job situation.
Me too. No, I have a job now. We're good. Yeah, I'm in too.
So we'll be donating some money to a food shelf. It's gonna be great. Can't wait to help out people. So 1 vote equals $1. So if you want to help us, vote and share with people, and that way we can also share and help other people. So the win-win for everybody. So look forward to that. Otherwise, if you're here for Watch Club, we will see you in 2 weeks for 100 meters. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.